So again, I am following this reference book, and as I told you, these are the page numbers I am referring, and all figures are taken from this particular reference. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the feed control in distillation tower. Okay. So I told you, if we want to maintain the distillation tower, if we want to maintain the equilibrium condition of the distillation tower. So in some textbook you can see that instead of equilibrium condition, to stabilize the distillation tower. Stabilizing means that one is working satisfactorily. Okay, that one is at equilibrium. Okay. So in order to maintain the equilibrium condition, we need to maintain the feed quality constant. Okay. So three variables are there with if you are considering feed quality or feed capacity. One is feed rate, second one feed composition, and feed temperature. The third one is feed temperature. So please note, here we are not going to discuss about the feed composition. It is very important, but it is we are not going to discuss about feed composition. We are discussing about feed rate and feed temperature. Okay. So first one is feed flow rate, a very simple DCS diagram. So please note down this diagram. Okay, so this one is a simple DCS diagram. So I think this one is a self-explanatory diagram. Am I correct? So what is happening here? I think you can explain this one. So you can see that this one is the distillation tower. A part is shown. Okay, not fully. So this one is a distillation tower, and this one is a feed line. This is feed. Okay, so this one is the feed of this distillation tower. So maybe this one is the first distillation tower, or maybe it is coming from some another distillation tower. If it is coming from some another distillation tower, so we have to modify this one, that we can explain after this. Okay, so first one, say this one is the first distillation tower. If it is a first distillation tower, this feed is pumped by either steam driven pump or the electrically driven pump, means electric pump or steam pump. From some source. Okay, so please note here the flow rate of this feed is measured. Okay, so this one is a measurement. So by using this measurement, FRC is manipulating the same feed flow rate. So here the controlled variable and manipulating variable both are same. Okay, so please note the feed flow rate is measured, and by using that feed flow rate, the FRC is manipulating the same feed flow rate. Is it okay? So this one is this control strategy is used if the pump is a electrically driven pump. If it is a steam driven pump, then this control signal is used to manipulate the steam flow rate, not the feed flow rate. Steam flow rate is manipulated. So if you are manipulating the steam flow rate, the pump capacity will change, and with respect to the change capacity, the feed flow rate that one is, or the feed that one is pumped by the steam flow rate will change. Okay. So please note the DCS diagram shown here is the case if you are using a electrically driven pump. Okay. So this one is a simple case. Okay. So next case is if the feed is coming from another distillation tower. This is the accumulator of first distillation tower. Okay, accumulator of first. Here we have first distillation tower, and this one is accumulator of first distillation tower, and this one is the distillation tower of, this one is the second distillation tower. Okay, so you can see that the liquid distillate of first distillation tower is fed into the second distillation tower, means the liquid distillate or the product of first distillation tower is acting as the, or taken as the feed of second distillation tower. So please note down this diagram. This topic is known as, or this one is a variable column feed. Okay. So this one is a DCS diagram of variable column feed. You can see that I think this one is accumulator, and in order to maintain the liquid level inside this accumulator constant, a level controller is used. Okay, so please note, if you are giving this control signal directly to this control valve, this one is a simple level controller that we discussed along with the column pressure controller, right? Okay, now just before this slide we discussed about this part. This one is the feed flow rate controller. So now what is happening? Now we combine the level controller of the first distillation tower and the feed controller of second distillation tower. Okay, and one more thing is the for both these purposes, in order to maintain the level inside this accumulator constant, and in order to maintain the feed flow rate inside this second distillation tower constant, we are manipulating the same this flow rate. I am saying this flow rate because for this accumulator, this one is a liquid distillate, and for this distillation tower, this one is a feed. So flow rate through this line is manipulated for these two purposes. Okay, so here we are using only one final control element, but we have two measurements. Is it okay? So for that purpose, a cascade controller is used, but please note, actually this is not used to reduce the disturbance. Actually, this is used to maintain. It is used to maintain the level inside the first accumulator constant and the feed flow rate of second distillation tower constant. Okay, so please note that. Okay, but we are using the concept of that cascade controller. The question is why we are using that concept, why we are using two independent control loops. If you are using two independent control loops, then we need to use two control valves, and these two control valves, we have to implement these two control valves in the same line. We have to use these two control valves in the same line. So definitely one control valve will be a wastage, because the performance of second control valve definitely will be affected by another control valve. Okay, so to avoid that, we need to use one control valve. First one, in order to reduce the cost and in order to improve the performance of that control valve, we have to use only one control valve. Okay, so anyway, we have only one choice, we can use only one control valve. If we are able to use only one control valve, then this control static is the level control static and the feed control static, we have to combine these two. So for that purpose, the cascade controller is used. Okay, now if you are using cascade controller, then definitely we have to select one control, one measurement as the primary measurement and second one is the secondary measurement. How we are selecting the primary measurement and the secondary measurement? In cascade controller, the variable, that one is selected as the controlled variable. So it must be the primary variable. Okay, but in this particular, so in cascade controller, the variable, that one is affected by the disturbance. We have controlled variable and the manipulating variable. If the manipulating variable is directly affected by the disturbance, so we are using cascade controller. Okay, so if you are controlling level, definitely we have to manipulate the feed flow rate. Okay, so if flow rate, not feed flow rate, if the distillate flow rate, if the liquid distillate flow rate, if it is affected by the disturbance, in order to remove the effect of that disturbance to that liquid level inside the accumulator, we have to use cascade controller. That one is a normal situation, but here the purpose is different. You can see that the control strategy, the control static or control algorithm that we are using here is the cascade controller, but the purpose is different. So here we want to maintain the liquid level inside the accumulator and the feed flow rate of second distillation tower both constant. It is not due to disturbance, but we can see it as a disturbance. Okay, so here we need to control two variables. Okay, out of these two variables, anyway we are using cascade controller, and if you have two choices, two variables, the variable which one is the slowest variable compared to the another one is selected as the primary variable. So please note, here we have two choices, level and flow, where level is the slowest variable. So level is selected as the primary variable, and the fastest variable, that is flow, is selected as the secondary variable. Is it okay? So if we have two measurements, level and flow. If we have two measurements, we need two control loops associated with these two variables. So the control loop associated with the level is LRC. So that one is a primary controller. So that one is giving a control output with respect to level measurement to the second control loop FRC. So FRC, by using the set point and the measurement FT, is manipulating or is actuating the control, the final control element. Okay. So, but I told you this is not due to disturbance. We want to maintain both level and flow. So if you want to maintain both level and flow, you can see that if level is varying, in order to maintain level, we have to change flow. So how can we maintain the level and flow simultaneously? That is not possible. If you are trying to maintain the level constant, definitely we have to adjust flow in some situation. So maintaining level and flow is not possible. Okay, so here a strategy is used. Okay, so please note, normally the level controller is giving a constant control output, or it is giving a constant set point to FRC if level inside the accumulator is in between 75% to 25%. If level is varying between 75% to 25%, the set point of FRC is constant. Means that variation of level is not considered. The variation of level within 25% to 75% is not considered seriously. Mean the flow rate of liquid distillate or the feed of this second distillation tower is maintained constant, because the most important one is what? The feed flow rate, because any variation in feed flow rate will affect the stability condition of second distillation tower. In previous slide we discussed about that. Any variation in feed flow rate, feed temperature, feed composition will change the equilibrium condition of second distillation tower. So that condition must not be affected. Okay, so normally the set point of this FRC means the flow rate of liquid into the second distillation tower, that feed of second distillation tower is maintained constant normally. So if we have an abnormal condition, means if the level of liquid inside the accumulator is greater than 75% or less than 25%, then we have to sacrifice this particular one. When if level of liquid is above 75% or below 25%, then a chance of overflow or a chance of dot condition is the draining condition is the. Okay, so at that point we have to sacrifice the stability condition of this second distillation tower. So what we are doing, if it is above 75%, then the set point of this FRC is increased. Please note, if the liquid level inside the accumulator is greater than 75%, the set point to FRC is increased. Similarly, if the liquid level inside the accumulator, if it is less than 25%, then the set point of FRC is decreased. Why? If level inside the accumulator is greater than 75%, a chance of this overflow is there. In this particular case, overflow will not occur. The level will increase inside the connecting line. Once we have an overflow inside the accumulator, level inside the connecting line will increase. Okay, here the volume is very large, but if the level is increasing inside the pipeline, quickly the heat transfer area will decrease, so it will upset the process. Okay, so once the liquid level is greater than 75%, the set point is increased. If the set point is increased, this flow rate will increase, which will decrease the liquid level inside the accumulator. Similarly, if the flow rate is less than 25%, then by closing this controller, by decreasing this set point, this liquid flow rate is decreased, so that the this flow rate is decreased, so that the liquid level inside the accumulator will increase. Okay, but please note, this action, if it is above 75% or if it is less than 25%, that possibility is rare. Rarely that situation will occur. Otherwise, the liquid level inside the accumulator will be in between 25% to 75%. Means the set point is constant, the flow rate of feed into the second distillation tower is constant. So this one is maintained at equilibrium condition. Is it okay? So that one is the operation of this variable feed variable column feed flow rate controller. Is it okay? So here I told you normally this set point is constant if it is between 25 to 75%. If level of liquid inside first accumulator, if it is in between 25% to 75%, this set point is constant. Okay, so this control action is something similar to this one. Say this is level and this is primary control output CO1. So if the liquid level is greater than 75%, then control output is increased. If it is greater than 75%, and if it is less than 25%, the control output is decreased. Is it okay? So this controller point of view, the output of this controller is CO1. The input of this controller is level. So this one is the picture shown is a steady state input output characteristics of the controller, this controller LRC. And you can see that this one is not linear, steady state point of view. This is not linear, this is non-linear. So please note LRC is a non-linear controller. Is it okay? Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the temperature, feed temperature controller. So please note down this diagram. So this one is the DCS diagram of feed temperature controller. So in order to preheat the feed, a preheater is used. So this one is a preheater or steam boiler. So in order to maintain the temperature of feed, the heat transfer medium used is steam. Steam is used as the heat transfer medium. Okay, so this one is steam, that one is used as the heat transfer medium. Okay, and why we are using steam? To maintain the feed temperature. It is used to maintain the temperature of feed constant. Okay, so for the purpose, here the temperature of feed is measured. Okay, so by using this temperature measurement, TRC is manipulating for a time being. I am not considering this FRC and FT. So by using this temperature measurement, TRC is manipulating the steam flow rate. Is it okay? By using the temperature measurement, TRC is manipulating the steam flow rate. So you can say what is happening. If measurement is small, then TRC will increase the steam flow rate, and if temperature is large, TRC will decrease the steam flow rate. Okay, so this control action will be a perfect control action if the steam quality is constant. Steam quality means steam pressure, steam flow rate, etc. If these are constant, then this control action is sufficient. This control strategy is sufficient if the steam quality is not affected by anything. If it is affected, especially if the steam flow rate is affected by something else, then we have a disturbance. And you can see that the disturbance is changing the quality of steam flow rate. No, it is not changing steam flow rate always. It is changing the quality of steam flow rate. So means the manipulating variable is affected by the steam flow rate. Okay. So if the manipulating variable, here the manipulating variable is steam flow rate. If the steam flow rate is affected by the disturbance, then here we are modifying this control strategy. Instead of using a simple temperature controller, we have to use a cascade controller where the primary control loop is temperature. Temperature controller is acting as the primary control loop, whose set point is given to the second control loop. That one is nothing but the steam flow rate control loop. So this one is the flow rate controller, which is used to control the steam flow rate, is acting as the secondary controller, whose set point is given by the temperature controller. Is it okay? What is the temperature required here? The temperature must be between the bubble point and dew point. What is bubble point? If you are increasing assume that if the given liquid is if the given feed is completely liquid, if you are increasing temperature, the temperature at which it starts to boil, it is known as a bubble point. And what about dew point? Assume that the feed is completely or the fluid is completely vapor. Then if you are decreasing temperature, the point at which it starts to condense is known as a dew point. So the temperature of feed must be in between these two. Normally in several distillation tower, the temperature must be maintained very close to the bubble point, not equal to, not above bubble point, very close to the bubble point. It is in between dew point and bubble point, but normally it is maintained very close to the bubble point. Okay, in several distillation. But there is a danger if you are maintaining the feed temperature very close to the bubble point, a small disturbance itself is sufficient to increase the temperature above the bubble point. Okay, so that problem is if it is above the bubble point, more than one component may be vaporized. We want to separate one component, so we need to vaporize only one component normally. But if it is very close to the bubble point, small disturbance will increase the temperature above the bubble point. So more than one component, the vaporization rate will increase. Okay, so normally we have to use cascade controller if you are maintaining the temperature very close to the bubble point. So you have to remember that. So here normally the TRC, I told you TRC, this one is the slowest variable. So normally PID controller, 3-mode controller is used here in TRC, and here proportional controller is sufficient for FRC. Is it okay? So this is feed temperature controller.